How's it going, Dave from Comic Book Investments? So I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna try this out, see if you guys even like this thing at all. But normally I read up on like different things going in the comic book news, different like TV shows, movies, comic books, all that kind of stuff, what's going on. And I just read it and go on about my day. Sometimes I talk about things that are interesting, like I did that Spider-Man page that sold, for over $3 million the other day. So I figured what I'm going to do, see if this is interesting to you guys, is I will just kind of read a few articles, what's going on, what I find interesting. I'll do this maybe like every Monday, or try to at least. And maybe you guys will like this. And then I will just, read 5 or 6 interesting stories and kind of talk about it, keep you guys in the loop what's going on. And then probably I'll cut it up also and release them in bite-sized things. So maybe you're not interested in every story, but a few stories here and there. So I'll see if this is something cool for you guys. First up we got is Todd McFarlane's. He just hit another record-breaking year. Well, the year just started, but but this is kind of interesting. So Todd McFarlane was coming out with his Spawn universe thing, and I don't even know why I put that in quotes, but he's coming out with Spawn universe, and that was going to be King Spawn. There's also the Gunslinger, Scorched, and there's one other one that came out earlier before all that. Sorry, let's see what it was called. It was Spawn's Universe #1. So it started off with Spawn's Universe #1. That's what kicked it off. And that one, let's see, it earned a sales achievement right here in June, selling over 200,000 copies, which is a good amount, right? It's not that low. So that, and to become Image's Comics best-selling #1 issue in the 21st century. So since 2000, it was the Image's best-selling #1 issue. So maybe there's another issue, like a random comic that sold a lot more than that. So that's interesting. Then in August, so a few months later, King Spawn sold 497,000 copies, becoming the highest ordered superhero title from any publisher in the 21st century. That's crazy. That was the #1 selling comic book since 2000 out of any publisher, Marvel, DC, all that stuff. Wow, really that much? Wasn't there more of like, when Detective Comics and Action Comics hit 1,000? Really, since 2000? You want to hear something crazy? Captain Marvel Adventures from 1941 sold 14 million copies. Just put things in perspective. The successful expansion of Spawn led to October's Gunslinger #1, moving 385,000 copies. Wow, that's another pretty good. And then they had Scorched. I think Scorched is the last one in this like series of stuff. And it sold 270,000 of its first issue. So pretty good. Like, these are impressive numbers. But the thing is with these numbers is they come out with a bazillion variants, and the only way you can get the variant is you have to order a bazillion copies. He does is 250, so each comic shop has to order 250 to get the special variant. All right. So here's some of the variants. I like this one the best right here. I think this one's probably the best looking drawn one. This looks real. I don't even know who it is. Like, I can't see the name of the artist anywhere on the cover, and it doesn't say. But I think this is the best looking one. There's this one. This one's cool. Don't get me wrong, but I like this one. This looks very, very 90s to me, but like more polished. Whoever this artist is, maybe one of you guys can tell me. Then we have this variant cover. Cool. This is a McFarlane cover. You can tell. Also says his name right there. Another cool cover. This one's kind of cool. I like that one. Another one. I got the sketch variant. And then here's the special one where it's going to be, you know, you have to order 250 copies type of thing to get this special variant. And that kind of skews the numbers because then comic shops like, well, I want this variant because if, you know, they only produce, you know, 50 of them, which they won't. But if they did, then, and I had one of them, it'd be worth a ton. But they end up doing like thousands, I think. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's just something to, you know, keep in mind when, like, they'll have these high numbers, but it's not like when Captain Marvel Adventures sold 14 million copies and those all went into the hands of like people trying to just read it. These numbers are skewed. Like if they only had one cover, no variants, like ratio variants, like how many would this actually be? A lot less. All right. So moving on, next story, we got SpiderMan No Way Home passes Black Panther with $704 million domestically. That is a lot. And let's see, among the superhero films, the only one higher domestic total other than No Way Home is Endgame at 858. No, that can't be right. You're telling me Endgame is the second highest grossing? Let's look at this. Let's see, all time. Let's go to all time charts. Oh, God. Domestic. All right. Okay, here we go. This might not be up to date. What are we at? 704. Okay, it's up to date. It's a little bit behind. All right. So, Spider-Man No Way Home brought in $704 million. It is currently on the 4th spot domestically. Avatar is at 760, Endgame is at 858, and then Star Wars is at 936. It beat out Infinity War. Domestic. I'm talking domestic. Beat out Infinity War. That's insane. Spider-Man, the third one in the Tom Holland series. Let's see worldwide. Now, granted, worldwide, most places have China. Spider-Man No Way Home does not have a China release for whatever it is. I don't know if it's coming out or if they're just not releasing it whatsoever. China is very stingy because they want their movies to do better, so they don't release American movies because they're really good and they don't want any competition. Let's see, where are we at? Spider-Man No Way Home is the 8th highest domestic film. It's about to beat Lion King pretty soon. Probably is going to beat this one. I don't know if it's going to get Infinity War of $2 billion. But remember, does not have China. China usually equates for Infinity War and stuff is in like the 500 to 700 million mark. So you could imagine adding an extra like 3 to 500 million onto this. It would bring it up into the top 5. But yeah, it just passed. I think, what did it pull in recently? It's still pulling. Look at that. Just this past Saturday, pulled in 8 million. Sunday, 6 million. Monday, it's Martin Luther King Day. It's estimated at 5 million. But look at that. Still pulling in a ton of money. People are still going in droves to see this movie. To me, that just says, if your movie sucks, you can no longer blame it on COVID and the pandemic. Nope. Can't blame it. No more blaming. Because people came out to see this movie. It just means that your movie sucks and people don't want to go see it. So whenever you see those articles where it's like, because of this, because of that, it's like, no. If the movie's good and people actually want to see it and are waiting in line and they're pumped for it, this is the third installment. So yeah, that's how I see it. I mean, I just hate seeing those articles where people want to blame it on all these other random things. No, the bottom line is your movie did not entice people to want to go watch it. And then the people that did watch it, maybe they didn't like it and they didn't give it positive reviews. Like when people ask me, I'm like, go watch this movie. It's an amazing movie. It is amazing, Spider-Man. But go watch this movie. So I tell people to watch it. If this movie is terrible, maybe I'd go out and see it because the trailers drew me in or whatever, the subject matter drew me in. And I'm like, you can wait for it to come out. And that's another thing is people have to compete with a million streaming services. And so it's like, this is coming out on streaming or this TV show or that movie or whatever. I just recently watched Peacemaker. I thought it looked stupid, to be honest. And the thing with John Cena is he's always trying. It seems like to me he's trying way too hard to be funny, like, and likable. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I don't even know him. But to me, it's just like, well, the Rock is really likable, so he wants to follow in his footsteps. I don't know. For some reason, that's how I feel about John Cena. So I had no desire really to see this TV show very much. And then on YouTube, they released the intro where it's them dancing to some song. And I'm like, this is stupid. I thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I like literally could not stand watching it. And I'm like, I have zero. If this is, what the show is going to be like, I just have a feeling it's going to be bad. And I was sitting down this past weekend and it was either watch Boba Fett episode 3, which everyone was telling me how bad it was. And I've watched reviews on it. It's so bad. I even saw like clips of when they do their little speed racing. It reminds me of the neutrinos from Turtles, the cartoon show. In their stupid, 60s rockabilly, chromed out car that they drive. That's what it reminds me of. And I watched that scene that people were ragging on, and I was like, what is this? This is so bad. And I was like, I don't want to watch it. And people say, oh, just give it another chance. That's what they say in the comments. I'm like, why? Why should I they're coming out with 8 episodes. I've watched 2 of them. So that's 25%. Like, how much more? Do I have to watch 50%, 75%? At that point, I might as well finish it. And it's like, you do realize that I have limited time. I can't just be sitting and watch TV all day. So, like, when I sit down and watch something, I want to actually like it. So I was going to watch it, but then I was like, you know what? I'll just throw in Peacemaker. Whatever. I'll give it a shot. And I liked it. I've seen all 3 episodes so far, and I thought it was really, really good. It's funny. There is parts where it seems like he's trying really, really hard to be funny, and it's just too much. But then there's other parts the humor lands, and it's rated R, so they get to go that extra step, which I like because I can't stand it when it's like they're like constrained by like PG-13. Hence why I think Boba Fett is kind of like just a wimp. He's such a wimp because he's constrained by the fact that he's in a PG-13, universe, like a light PG-13 universe because it's on Disney Plus. So he's Disneyfied when in reality he should be an R-rated character. Just like Darth Vader needs to be an R-rated character. But they, yeah. So, I'm happy that No Way Home is bringing in this kind of money. All right, let's move on to the next story. We got Leslie Grace shares the first look at her Batgirl costume. So here she is. Can I make this bigger, or is this going to go to her Instagram? No, don't care about that. All right, yeah. So here she is, Leslie Grace. I have no idea who she is. She's wearing this Batman thingy. Is this for a movie or is this a TV show or something? HBO Max's Batgirl. It's a direct to HBO Max. Let's go over here. So I didn't know that. That's interesting. So here she is. I don't know who she is. She doesn't look like like anything I would ever see her in. Is she cute? Not here though. Ugh. There, she's cute there. Okay, let's see if I've seen her in anything. I highly doubt it. I have no idea who this person is. Where's her IMDb? Yeah, all this stuff looks like stuff I would never see. None of that. I don't even know what this stuff is. She's been in 9 things. 9 things. Music video. Oh, music video. You're telling me she's just a singer and she's in Batgirl? What? That's all she is? Is she just a singer? It's like putting me as Batman. I would gladly take it. Gladly in a heartbeat. But in no way, shape, or form should I be Batman. I'm not an actor. Like, I could do, I'm Batman. I mean, I could do that. You know, I could work out more. I mean, she just looks skinny. That's why I never understand. It's like the girl's always so skinny. And I'm like, you do realize they're a superhero fighting crime most nights. So just the pure fact of that, they would be in such good shape. I'm not even talking about their training that they do. The fact that you're running around all the time, fighting people that are stronger than you. Yeah. And wrestling around with them, jumping all over the place, swinging from rooftop to rooftop. Whatever you're doing, you'd be in an amazing shape. Amazing shape. You wouldn't just be skinny. That's what, she just looks like, just skinny. Whatever. I mean, it's going straight. It's basically direct to DVD. That's how I look at it. It's HBO Max. It's pretty much like straight to DVD. So the budget is probably going to be pretty small. I think the costume looks stupid, to be honest. Her, I mean, she looks cute. So that's about all I have to say about that, I guess. I mean, I'll watch it. I just don't. The hard thing for me is when a girl's like really small, is when she throws a punch at, she goes up against henchmen that are like, 6'5" and like 350 pounds of pure muscle, and she throws a punch. I'm like, I don't know. Like, that's the hard thing I have believing. So whatever. I mean, I watched Ethan Van Shriver. He has a YouTube channel, and the one thing I don't really like about the stuff that sometimes it happens with YouTubers and it happens with everyone, and sometimes I feel like it might happen with me at some point, but is these YouTubers will find their niche and then just become like a parody of themselves. And so like Ethan Van Shriver has a lot of insight because he has been drawing for forever. He worked for DC, Marvel, all that stuff. And so that's why I started watching him. Now he's just become a lot more political and like anti-woke and that kind of stuff. I'm like, that's fine, whatever. I don't really care. But I feel like sometimes they have to get mad. So like when I saw this, he showed this image and he was like talking something about like, she's supposed to be like a white girl. I'm like, first of all, who cares? I don't even know if she is or not. I'm assuming she's some kind of ethnic, but I'm like, who cares? Like, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the biggest deal I always see is they don't make her hair red. Poor redheads, they always get shafted. But I mean, yeah, that doesn't really bother me. So I'm like, I don't know why he has to make a big deal out of something that's not really even that big of a deal. I mean, there's a billion iterations of Batgirl. I mean, she was played by Elisa Silverstone in Batman, and was it Batman and Robin? Yeah, I think that's what it was. And I didn't care about her then. So like, it wasn't like, oh, because she's a white girl now all of a sudden it makes her better. It's like, I care if she can do a good job and the story's good and the action is good and she's a good actress. That being said, her just being a musician, don't think so at all. I mean, I watched the Batwoman show, like a couple like clips here and there. Oh, it looked terrible. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit through an hour of this. It was awful. The clips that I did see, like everything was bad about it. That's the thing that I can't stand, is you try to do a superhero film or TV show or direct a streaming movie, you do realize that these need high budgets. They're superheroes. I don't want to sit here for, out of an hour show, 5 minutes of action, and then the rest of the time it's them talking about drama stuff. I'm like, oh, good Lord. I want to see action, and good action. So I don't really care. I'll watch this, or at least I'll start it. I can't guarantee that I won't fall asleep or turn it off. My dad just texted me a little while ago. He watched The Eternals because it's on streaming, and he's like, I turned it off halfway. He's like, I couldn't stand it anymore. I'm like, yeah, it's not that good. All right, what else we got? This one's great. I mean, sucks, but great. So Logan Paul I don't know if you know who he is. It's this guy, famous YouTuber. He's also a boxer. His a brother does very similar things. He started out as like a prankster, but I think he's matured. But anyways, he's really into Pokemon cards. He bought a distribution box, which would have 6 boxes, which would have packs inside each box, for $3.5 million. I think there's a picture of it somewhere. Yeah, here's the picture of the box. He bought it from this guy, his friend, for $2.7 million, which I think is a lie, because this guy right here, he's a Pokemon trader, the bald man. I don't think you can see my mouse, but the bald man, he's like a card trader, card dealer, and he bought this distribution box for $2.7 million, right? And Logan Paul bought it from him for 3.5. This guy, this bald guy, he got it certified by this company, Baseball Card Exchange. I believe that's what it was. Yes. And they certify sealed boxes, things like that. See how they wrap the boxes in like a plastic, and they put their logo all over it, so it's guaranteed sealed, and everything they say about it is legit. So this bald guy got a distribution box, sent it to that BCE to get it verified. Yeah, BBCE right here. They verified it. He then sold it to Logan Paul for $3.5 million. Here's the issue. This box was sold a year ago on eBay for $70,000. And there's a lot of shady stuff around it. So I'm assuming this guy, because the auction ended up, whoever won the auction never actually bought it, but then another company came and said, hey, I'll buy it from you. And then it worked out to like $400,000. I don't know. It was there's a lot of stuff behind it, but I think this bald guy ended up buying it from that person on eBay, because it was only like a year ago that it was sold on eBay, I believe. So then he buys it. So he said he paid $2.7 million to Logan Paul. That can't be. There's no way, because think about it. A year ago, it sold on eBay for $70,000. The original person didn't buy it. A bunch of people hit him up, the seller, and was like, oh, it worked out to $400,000. They couldn't verify that it was legit, and so then they canceled that. So then, that's months later. So I'm assuming then this guy comes along and buys it. There's no way he's going to pay hey, you sold it on eBay for $70,000. Someone offered $400,000. I'm going to offer you $2.7 million. Doubtful. I'm pretty sure he just paid probably like a couple $100,000. Anyways, long story short, Logan Paul opens the box live he contacted his buddy to be there. He also contacted the Baseball Card Exchange to be there. So they had representatives there. And the guy was like, yeah, I remember when this came in, and I like verified it. These are all the things I look for, all this kind of stuff. It's 100%. I guarantee you. I put my stamp on it. So then they open it. And what is it? It's filled with G.I. Joe cards. Oh, it was funny. I laughed. It's sad, but it was funny. And so Logan Paul ended up spending $3.5 million on just a box of nothing. But anyways, he got his money. So then this bald guy here was like getting mad at the Baseball Exchange people and saying like, hey, like I only sold this because you certified it in your little plastic wrap. And yeah, and it's they're like, So then I guess apparently he got his money back. So this guy paid him back his $3.5 million. So that's funny. I encouraged by my, let's see. His name is Shane 150. Upon opening the first edition authentic BBCE Exchange authenticated Pokemon case, we noticed the box inside looked off. Sadly, the case was fake. Logan Paul, are grateful to Rattle Pokemon and the Pokemon community for exposing this fraudulent case now before the transacted any further. I've reimbursed Logan $3.5 million. However, we will see how quickly I am made whole from the seller who brought it to me already authenticated in the coming days, or if it turns into a drawn out scenario. I'm encouraged by my legal team has agreed through counsel to escrow received from the sale while we work to recover the rest of my funds. So he's trying to get his funds back. Yeah, that sucks. No, got scammed. I mean, it's like Schrodinger's cat, you know. It's only worth something is like you have a sealed box. For all you know, as long as it's sealed, the legit stuff is in there. But as soon as you open it, you'll know for sure if it's sealed or not, like legit Pokemon cards, and if they're worth whatever. They're, 3.5 million. It's crazy. I mean, each box is worth about $500,000, I believe, like each box inside, somewhere around there. And so he basically paid a bit of a premium to get 6 because he currently only has 5. And so he bought 6. So he wanted to get more. But if you open each box, you could get a Charizard if you got a perfect Charizard for like 300,000. So it's like one box. If you get one card that comes out of perfect 10, you could pay for almost the entire box. So he's thinking like, all right, if I open all these packs and I get like half a dozen Charizards, I'm golden. But then the thing is supply and demand. Right now, there's only X amount of Charizards. You open up all those packs, open all those boxes, and you just flood the market with 10 extra Charizards that are perfect 10s. Now it's not worth as much. Gotta think there, Logan. Gotta think. Anyways, that's it for my news. All right, let me know if you like this kind of stuff. Have a good day.